Live from the Business RadioX studio inside Renaissance Bank, the bank that specializes in understanding you. It's time for North Fulton Business Radio.
And hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of North Fulton Business Radio. I'm John Ray, and folks, as usual, we're out. Easy for me to say. We are broadcasting inside Renaissance Bank in beautiful Alpharetta. And if you're looking for a better banking experience for your business, one where you're not getting the mega bank treatment, if you know what I mean, and if you're at one of those banks, you know what I mean by that, check out Renaissance Bank. I think you'll find that they're big enough to handle pretty much any need you can throw at them, but they're small enough to do it in a personal way. And that's what I've found in my dealings with them. So go to renaissancebank.com and find one of their local offices and give them a call. And I think you'll be glad you did. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, member FDIC. And now I want to welcome an old friend. Maria Fundora is with us, folks. She is the owner of Casa Nuova Italian Restaurant. Maria, wow, it's so great to have you back.
Thank you, John. Thank you for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Delighted to have you on. Okay, for the three people that don't know about Casa Nuova, let's give them an introduction, okay?
Casa Nuova Italian Restaurant. We are a traditional Italian restaurant. Great pasta, chicken, veal, fresh seafood, amazing service. Come when you're happy, come when you're sad. We will make sure that you are very well taken care of.
I can attest to that myself. So you're here for a special reason. And we had you on last year, and we're always glad to have you, but we're particularly delighted to have you when it's a special thing you're celebrating. And why don't you tell everybody what that's all about?
Well, actually, tomorrow, February 9th, we will be open 25 years.
Wow.
It just seems like it was just the other day. It's been such a great run. My children now are my business partners, so it's another generation that's putting input into the community. It's just been a great run. We love what we do. Mm-hmm. We love serving people. We love providing great quality food and just an ambiance of family when you come to our place.
That comes out loud and clear. And, you know, speaking of easier said than done, you just said a mouthful, right? When you say you've been around for 25 years, because we're not even just talking about the pandemic, although we're talking about that, but to have survived in the restaurant business for 25 years is quite an accomplishment. What do you attribute that to?
Consistency. Our food all the time, and service all the time. Every day is important. It's not just for a special day or a special occasion. Every person that walks in the door is important to us. They're part of our extended family. And that's how we run our business. Mm-hmm. That's how we manage our people. And we are just wanting to serve people and provide a great quality product all of the time.
Well, one of the things that strikes me, though, about your business, Maria, and we'll talk about your family in a second, your nuclear family, shall we say, all right?
Yes.
Oh, the blood family.
Yes.
But the extended family, you say that includes employees, and you really mean that. And what strikes me every time I'm around you and your team is how there's so much turnover in the restaurant business when it comes to employees, but you've had employees that have been with you for years, literally years.
I have at least 6 employees that have been with me for 25 years.
That's amazing. I mean, that's unheard of, right?
Yeah, some of my colleagues struggle with that.
I think a lot of them do. Most of them do. So what's your secret?
We just treat them good.
Mm-hmm.
We try to do our best to think of them as part of our blood family. Mm-hmm. We sit together every day at 3:30 p.m. We open at 4, And all of the chefs take an opportunity. There's 3 of them, and working chefs. And each of them have 2 days because we're open 6 days. And they make a family meal for all of us. Sometimes we have, I don't like to call people customer, they're guests always, who will drop in a little bit earlier that they know we're having the family meal, and they'll come and sit with us as well and eat with us. And we do all kinds of food for the family meal, sometimes Italian, sometimes Chinese, sometimes Mexican, sometimes Italian again. But every day is a new recipe that they want to try out, or an old favorite. It's pretty amazing. And we have always tried to think about our employees as part of our extended family. So even with the pandemic, Tony and I felt, and the children, that we needed to survive because they had families to support. We didn't lay off a single person during the pandemic. We just fought through it as hard as we could. We didn't lose any employees at all. We didn't let anybody go.
Wow. What great work, and a lot to learn there. And I know we could go down this bunny trail a long way. I know it's more than just eating together in the afternoon at 3:00. I mean, you've obviously done a lot of things over the years to engender that loyalty. So congratulations on that.
Well, thank you so much. If the restaurant makes money, our people make money. We try to take that into consideration all of the time. When the restaurant is doing just okay, they know about it. They know the business, how it's trending, and they understand. Sure. And they stay with us until it's a cycle.
Let's go back to the beginning for a second. We were talking about this before we came on the air, that it was we don't really think about this today because we see all the growth and prosperity here in the North Fulton, South Forsyth area. You're located just across the line in South Forsyth. It was pretty courageous for you to move, and to move where you did at the time you did it 25 years ago.
Well, when we opened, our friend Bill Norman had Norman's Landing, and our friend Chris Sedgwick had Vinny's, and they said, "Come on out here. You're going to love this area." And of course, I personally live 2 blocks away from the restaurant. So Tony and I would drive through the neighborhoods just to make sure that the neighborhoods were growing, and that we would have people. I remember February 9th, 1998 was a Monday night. And we did 68 people. I still remember it to this day. And we said, "Are we going to be able to make it?" But it took off. By the first weekend, we had a line out the door. We were very blessed.
Wow.
We still have people that come from all over Atlanta, from Buckhead to Peachtree City to Dawsonville, just from all parts of the city that come to eat with us. We're very, very blessed.
Wow. Dawsonville's one thing, but Peachtree City, that's all the way. You've got to fight an interstate for a long way to get to where you are.
They usually come and eat with us on Saturday night.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, wow. I was going to ask you about that. To what extent, how far you pull your extended family in. I'll use your language on that.
There are people who ate with us at Alfredo's and Avanti's and Tony's Casa Napoli. That's it. And they refound us under Casa Nova, and they make the trip. We have not changed our recipes since 1974. Still the same recipes.
Well, if it's great, why change it, right?
Absolutely.
If it's a classic,
correct.
Why change it?
Yeah, definitely lots of classics on our menu. Veal parm, chicken parm, our homemade lasagna, which is our #1 seller. But with the kids being involved, they have ideas as well. And sometimes we will turn those into specials, which are a little bit different from what's on the menu.
Right.
So it kind of keeps us new.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Folks, we're here chatting with Maria Fundora. She is the owner of Casa Nuova Italian Restaurant here in the North Fulton area. So, Maria, how do you maintain your enthusiasm for your business, particularly given the ups and downs of the restaurant business? Again, we were talking about this. It's not just the pandemic, although that was a big one, right?
That was a big one.
That was a big one. But there are lots of ups and downs in the restaurant business just without that. So how do you maintain the enthusiasm you obviously still have, and you and all your family, your employees, they all have this enthusiasm. So it's not just you. How do y'all do that?
That's a great question. We face every day with a positive note, and that we are blessed to live in the present. Every day is a present. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So every person that walks in our door, and not to sound corny, is a special person. And they deserve that respect and that enthusiasm that they have chosen our place to come and dine with us. That's extremely important to myself and my family to be able to provide that. And if you don't have that enthusiasm, you can't work at Casa Nuova. That's how that works.
That means more than whether you can serve a table or cook the food right.
That's exactly correct. You have to be positive and be thankful for all the people that walk in. They have a choice to go anywhere.
Right.
And that they choose you. You got to step up to the plate and deliver. Really important.
Right. So you didn't lay one off during the pandemic, and you moved pretty quickly to I hate this word, but pivot. we got tired of that word, didn't we?
We sure did.
Yeah. But you to morph to fit the circumstances. Talk about what you did and what has carried over.
Wow. Well, we immediately called our POS people and immediately got online. Basically, it happened within 24 hours for people to be able to order online because we couldn't keep up with the orders on the telephone. That's how we used to run our to-go orders. We basically turned the restaurant, you would come in and it would look like a wine store because people would come in and we had bottles of wine for $10. Where people could take a bottle of wine with their food to go. And we just wrapped up our to-go business, very much so. When the governor said that we could open, I remember it was April 27th, we were a little bit afraid. We didn't reopen the dining room till June 1st. And we originally had 23 tables on the inside with all the items that the governor had put out for us to follow. We opened with 8 tables, back up with 8 tables. And slowly, we are still really not at capacity. We're probably at about, 18 tables. So we're still about 5 tables short of what we used to have. But our to-go business has continued to thrive. That has carried over from the pandemic. People are still doing to-go a lot.
Right.
What's back raging is all the stuff that we do for catering. So we do a lot of that, either in-house or people pick up or we'll deliver for events. So both of those things have really carried over since the pandemic, which is amazing. So kind of a combination of all things.
And you created another little business right next door, right?
We sure did.
Yeah.
Cork and Glass.
Right.
So it's a beautiful wine space. We host special events there as well. Great pricing on wine and a lot of education. So if you're into wine, please stop by and see us. Cork and Glass. Come see Pepe.
Pepe knows a thing or two about wine, doesn't
Just a
he?
tad.
Yeah.
He's actually an electrical engineer, Georgia Tech grad. There's a lot of science and math and wine. So he is actually he's a certified somm, which is level 2. He's about to be taking his level 3 exam for advanced. It's called advanced somm. So
wow.
we're very excited about that.
Yeah, that's awesome. All the best to him. I'm sure he's going to do great.
I think so. Both levels he's been able to pass on the first try.
That's great.
So
that's great. So you can head to Casa Nova for dinner, and then step next door and get a bottle of wine to take home for the next evening to eat your leftovers. Right? What you take out the door as leftovers the next night, right?
Absolutely. Or you can start at Cork and Glass with a tasting, and then come on over to Casa Nova and have dinner.
Yeah. Terrific. So, Maria, you, and this is true at Cork and Glass, I've seen some of those events. So you and your family have been very active in the community and supporting charitable causes. The cause of pancreatic cancer is very important to you personally because you're mother, right?
Yes.
So just talk about the whole idea of giving back and what that's, you don't do it for this reason, but what it's done for you, what the way those vibrations that you've put out in the world come back to you.
Tony and I and the kids, now that they're adults, have always felt a sense of community. And the community is who supports you, so you must support them. Mm-hmm. So we still support local schools, local charities, local churches, anyone that comes to us with a cause. We talk about it, we discuss it, and we go with it. Like next month, we will be having, again, the Lions Club. They do a lot of great work. We still support them. We do 2 events for them every year. And like them, there's a lot of other organizations that will come to us. Lacrosse teams will come and we'll support that. Football teams, the baseball program. So besides Purple Pansies and pancreatic cancer, we really try to stay involved within the community, local. And we've just always supported that. We feel that that's really important to help the people in our community to be able to achieve their goals as well. Yeah.
And I have to admit, I'm a little maybe selfish about this because I'm drawn to this cause too for events in my own life, but talk about the cause of pancreatic cancer and what you've been able to do there and why that's so important to you with your story of your mom.
Well, when I lost my mom, it changed the dynamics of my family immediately. She was the matriarch and just an amazing woman. And I said, I got to do something. I just can't sit here and not do anything. I got to help other people. So we started as a grassroots organization in 2008, took our name in 2009, and became a 501c3 in 2017. The last 4 years, we have raised over $1 million for our cause. Where does our money go? We're all volunteers, by the way. Nobody's on the payroll. So every dollar we raise goes to our cause. So, of course, clinical trials and research. We provide scholarships for children all over the United States that apply. And we give immediate support to families that need grants that have that kind of diagnosis, a pancreatic cancer diagnosis. Really rewarding work. 2 people that we just referred to Piedmont Hospital, which has a great pancreatic cancer program. They got the Whipple procedure and they have a chance at life. Wow. You know, we're saving lives. Yeah. People that we referred that were elsewhere. Yeah. I mean, when you do that, it just makes every call that you make to ask for money worth every penny. A lot of people say no, but there's a lot of people that say yes.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. And so folks just know this is just one example of what you're supporting when you go eat at Casa Nuova. So, here we go. Let's get to the menu. That's what I'm sure a lot of people are dying to know about that don't know about your establishment. Talk about the menu and what you offer.
As I said earlier, we have a great veal selection, probably one of the largest in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Our pasta is amazing. Our number one selling item is the best lasagna, in my opinion, in all of Atlanta. And I call it Italian soul food. Our spaghetti and meatballs, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Great chicken, best chicken parm in Atlanta as well. Actually, throughout the year, we will be hosting days or weeks where we have an item that we roll back the price. So this week, for example, chicken parm, we've rolling it back. It's $11.50. That was the price that we started with.
Oh, wow.
And then our fresh seafood is amazing, from Chilean sea bass to fresh fillet of black grouper. And then our homemade sausage and peppers is amazing. So lots of goodies. Best Italian popcorn, our calamari as well.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. And here's the thing. Nothing comes out of a can, right? I mean, like in terms of the fresh ingredients that you use, I mean, that's what people are paying for and they're eating.
Most people that come to us know that during the spring, summer, and fall, we are farm to table. We actually, on our property, we have about 14 acres that we plant our own stuff, from corn to tomatoes to lettuce to spinach to basil. And throughout the winter, we try to partner with people that provide us fresh ingredients. So example, during the summer, we have 3 red sauces. During the rest of the year, we do 2. We have a marinara sauce, we have a tomato sauce, and we have a pomodoro sauce. They're all red, but they're all different. We really pride on ourselves on doing that. You go to an Italian restaurant and a lot of them will just have one red sauce, but every sauce is different. Marinara, you have a linguine marinara, but you use the tomato sauce for the lasagna. And the pomodoro sauce is great with fish, or you just want to eat a little bit, a little pasta, plain pasta, linguine alla pomodoro. So we really take a lot of great care in the ingredients that we use and try to offer authentic Italian food.
Yeah. Wow. So you are, and I want to make sure I get this straight, because people will be listening to this show not just here in the month of February when your 25th anniversary falls, but they'll be listening to the show later on. So did you tell me that you're going to have specials all throughout this year?
Throughout the year.
Okay, throughout 2023.
Throughout 2023.
Okay.
We will be rolling back an item every week. We'll also have specials on wine. So we will have every week, we will have a wine that is $25. In addition to our Wine Mondays, which we have wines for $20. So I invite people to come and join us. We will have special wine events throughout the year. Rob Mondavi kicked off our 25th anniversary in January. Josh Phelps came in this week, another wonderful wine partner with us. And like that, we will have those kind of names come to see us throughout 2023.
Wow. That's exciting.
Very exciting.
Okay. So, and I'm not wrapping this up quite yet, but I want to make sure people may want to know right now where to find more information. Do you have, do they just need to keep checking the website, your Facebook page, how to check on these special events you'll be having?
Of course, you can go on our website, casanovarestaurant.com, but also we always post on Instagram and Facebook to keep up with the latest items that are on feature and when we are hosting special events.
Terrific. So Maria, what's ahead? I mean, 25 years, what's ahead, number one? And I want to ask you a personal question, if I can. So, God bless you and your family. You lost your beloved Tony, husband and father.
Yes.
And what would he say to be here at 25 years? You know, he's got to be pretty proud looking down on you and your family on what you've done since he passed away.
You know, when I think about Tony and I think about the restaurant, there was two things that he would always say when he was in the restaurant. One of them was, stay on top of the table. Stay on top of the table.
I love that.
Do not let up. Every moment counts when people are there.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that he would say, he would look at his hands and he would say, what these hands make have to be good. And he drilled that into the kids, that you take pride in what you do. It's not just about the money. It's about what you're doing is important, and what you're providing has to be quality. You can't take shortcuts or make shortcuts. So those two things all the time. So I remember that a lot when I'm at the restaurant, and about treating people like family. That was always very important to him. He bought 56 of his family members. Most people know that we're originally from Cuba. My husband's been in the Italian restaurant business since 1962.
Wow.
Found his other family. And he always respected people, and every person that walked through the door was important. So I hear that in my brain all of the time. He's kind of a hard act to follow.
Well, you continue to carry on quite elegantly that tradition, and which means he did a great job, right?
Absolutely.
Passing that on.
Absolutely.
So, and what a legacy to leave.
Yeah, my daughter is actually working, Carrie, on a cookbook.
Awesome.
We're working with some writers right now to try to put his legacy into paper and in a book to share with others. So
wow.
We're working on that project right now.
Any ETA yet on when that'll come out?
Probably maybe sometime at the end of this year.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You'll have to come back and we'll talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds like great news. Well, so what's ahead? I mean, what's the future look like? What are some of the plans that you have for the next several years?
Well, we have enough equipment actually to open another space. We're always torn about whether we should or we should not. Sometimes it's hard to duplicate others, but we've thought about that. And the other thing I think that we have thought about is, first of all, to continue our consistency. There's a lot to be said about that. It's a new generation with the kids. They have ideas of their own of what they would like to do. Our sauces, we think that we have product to be able to actually put in a jar and to sell. So the sauces are a project maybe in the future as well.
I like the sound of that.
Yes.
I like the sound of that.
Our Caesar dressing, our house dressing, our marinara sauce. Good recipes.
Yeah.
So we're working on that as well.
Lots of great things going on Highway 9 there.
Yes.
Casa Nuova Italian Restaurant, Cork and Glass, wine shop next door. Congratulations to your family, to your extended family that includes your employees and all the customers that have supported you over the years. Congratulations for 25 years. It's just I'm honored that we could help you celebrate.
Thank you for having me on, and thank you for always being an amazing friend.
Yeah, thank you so much. But one more time, let's give folks where they can find out more information.
CasaNovaRestaurant.com, or you can follow us or like us on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah, and that if you don't want to go eat at Casa Nova, don't get on that Instagram account, folks, because you will want to go that night, right? So if that's not in your plans, don't get on that Instagram account, or your plans will change. I can tell you. Maria Fundora, you're just amazing. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Really appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you. Hey, folks, just a quick reminder. Speaking of someone I also appreciate, and that's Essie Escobedo and her team over at Office Angels. I use their services, and if you've got administrative tasks or bookkeeping issues, maybe you need some help with your marketing or presentations prepared, well, Essie and her team can help. She has a whole team of angels that fly in, they get the job done, and they fly out, and they do it on an ongoing or as-needed basis, and they do it virtually, and they've been doing it that way for, guess what, well over 2 decades, just like Maria. So they do wonderful work, and if your business needs a little bit of a makeover in the back office there, give Essie a call. Call 770-442-9246. Tell her I sent you. Or if you're shy and want to look at the website, go to officeangels.us and learn more. And folks, just a quick reminder that North Fulton Business Radio is on all the major podcast apps. We're up over 600 shows that we've had the honor to bring you, and we have gotten to that point because of your great support over the years. You've supported the show in a lot of ways, but one way you've done that I'm particularly grateful for is you share the show. So if you know of someone if you know of those 2 or 3 people that don't know about Casa Nova, share the show with them, let them know they're missing out, or any of our other business leaders that we've had over the years. Please continue to do that, because we're here to fulfill our mission at Business RadioX of celebrating business leaders in our community and to be the voice of business, to honor their work. So for my guest, Maria Fundora, I'm John Ray. Join us next time here on North Fulton Business Radio.